Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Caitlin Jacobs. I'm the Associate Director for Transfer Admission and Credit Articulation here in the Office of Admissions and Merit Awards at Coastal Carolina University. I've been working at the university and specifically with transfer students for over 5 years. I'm here today to share a lot of useful information about the transfer process. But before I get started, I just want to say I hope you and yours are staying safe, healthy, and happy. Like I said, I'm going to share a lot of useful information today. If there's anything that I miss, I want to make sure that you know the university is operational. So if you have any questions about the transfer process, you can certainly reach out to us. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. You can always email us at transfer@coastal.edu, and you can always call us at 800-277-7000. I'm also going to post all of our transfer counselors and their contact information at the end of this presentation, so stay tuned for that. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So if you know anything about Coastal Carolina University, know that we've grown a lot as an institution, and we're still a fairly young institution with that. We were founded in 1954, but we did not become an independent institution until 1993. After that, from 2007 to 2017, we grew at a rate where we ended up as the 28th fastest growing public master's degree granting institution in the U.S. Over the past decade, we've finalized over $200 million building campaign as well. So we've had a lot of growth, and we've received some national recognition that I'm certainly going to brag about today. But perhaps what we're most proud of is being recognized for the past 11 years on America's Best College Buys list. More impressive, we are recognized as number 2 in the South among all schools in the best value category. So what they're looking at there, they're comparing the overall quality of our academic programs and comparing that with the average cost for an average student. So the better the overall academic quality compared to the cost to the student, the better value there. So we're really proud of that in providing a high quality education at a reasonable cost. Some more recognition there for 2020 with the U.S. News and World Report rankings. You can see those listed there. I do want to take a moment to talk about our ranking with veterans. We have a lot of student veterans studying here with us at Coastal Carolina University. We have a lot of recently returning veterans who study with us, and also quite a few veteran dependents here using their VA educational benefits. If this applies to you, please know that we have a Veteran Services Office where we have military funding coordinators, as well as our school certifying official with the VA who can help you with those benefits. So I talked a little bit about our growth and how much we've grown over the years. So where are we at currently? Right now, we have approximately 10,400 students. So that makes us a medium-sized institution. The majority of that number there are our undergraduate students, but we have about 600 to 700 or so graduate students studying here with us. I do want to add that we are a public liberal arts institution. We have 5 academic colleges that I'll go over today and over 90 programs of study. So talking a little bit further about the numbers, you just heard me say we have approximately 10,400 students studying with us, but what does that really mean for you as a student? So when you're on campus studying with us, if you're transferring in your first or second year, your average class size is upper 20s, lower 30s. Now, if you're transferring in your junior, senior years, average class sizes drop down to low 20s, possibly even lower than that, just depending on your major and what class you're in. We are a teaching-focused institution, and we pride ourselves on a personalized education. You'll see our student-to-faculty ratio there, 16:1. What I like to share is, you heard me say I've been working here for 5 years. When I started here, that student-to-faculty ratio was 18:1. So even though our enrollment has grown as an institution, we've added faculty, and that student-to-faculty ratio has dropped. So I think that shows we've really pride ourselves on that personalized and that teaching-focused education. You'll see that percentage there. 79% of faculty have their doctoral or terminal degree. So they have that highest level education in their field. So they are subject matter experts. We are now going to get into our academic colleges. The first college I'll be going over with you is our Wall College of Business Administration. You'll see that accreditation stamp there, AACSB. That is important to know because that is the premier accreditation body for a collegiate school of business. So that puts us at the top 5% of all collegiate schools of business. So it's great to know that you have a strong college of business backing you when you graduate. Majors that we have within this college, you have to choose between accounting, economics, finance, hospitality, resort and tourism management, which makes sense for our region, as well as marketing and management. Management is the largest major within this college. If you're a transfer student and you're looking ahead at graduate programs, please know that we have a Master of Business Administration as well as a Master of Accountancy. The next college I'll be going over is the Spadoni College of Education. We are also nationally accredited there. So what that means, our graduates have the ability to teach in all states as well as some U.S. territories. Although I will say we have a great relationship with our local school systems if you're thinking about staying in this area and becoming an educator in South Carolina. We have such a great relationship with our school systems. We get our students out in the classrooms their first semester. We call those immersion days. And it really is a great hands-on learning opportunity for our students because they're working hand in hand with teachers, they're working with students. And I think it's really setting up those expectations early on what it's like to be a future educator. We also have a great placement pipeline for students who want to teach in our local school systems. About 78% of our local educators are either graduates of the Spadoni College of Education or they receive their licensure or recertification through Coastal. The different levels of education we offer, we have early childhood education, elementary education, middle level education, special education, and physical education. And you can see those corresponding grade levels there. I want to add, you'll note that we do not have secondary education listed there. So how that works at Coastal, if you want to teach at the high school or the secondary level, you would initially start off in the subject area that you wish to teach. So English, history is pretty popular, one of our sciences or applied mathematics, and you would get your undergraduate degree in that subject area. Then you would continue on in our 15-month Masters of Arts in Teaching program that would give you the licensure to teach at the secondary level. And again, that would allow you to work in all 50 states as well as some U.S. territories. Next, we have our Edwards College of Humanities and Fine Arts. This is where you'll find more of those classic areas of study, more of those liberal arts-based majors, such as English, communication, which is the largest major in this college, history, philosophy, but you'll find some more unique programs housed within this college. We have our intelligence and national security studies major. We're one of the largest programs in the Southeast. We're one of the few programs in the Southeast, so we've had a lot of growth within this program. We also have our visual and performing arts majors housed here, such as art studio, graphic design, as well as our theater programs where we have a BFA in musical theater and physical theater. This college has also added a few relatively new majors in the past few years. You'll see we have anthropology and geography there. These students have a lot of really interesting hands-on learning opportunities. Even in our local area, they've recently added art history, digital culture and design, as well as languages and intercultural studies, where students can focus either on Hispanic studies or multiple languages. You'll note that I said we had our visual and performing arts majors here. I just want to add these students are very talented. They're always practicing their craft, honing their skills, and they're always putting on art exhibits, plays, musicals throughout the year. So they're definitely adding to our culture here on campus. Next, we have our Gupta College of Science, which is our largest college, even though we are a liberal arts institution. This houses our largest major and perhaps what we're most well known for, which is marine science. We have one of the largest marine science programs on the East Coast. We also have a master's and a Ph.D. program in this area. Being so close to the Atlantic Ocean, we're about 9 miles, we are very fortunate to have a lot of hands-on learning opportunities for our students. We were fortunate enough to be gifted a piece of an uninhabited barrier island a few years ago that's called Wade's Island. So our science majors, in particular marine science, can go out there their first semester with their faculty member, collect samples, start doing that field research, because that program is really designed for you to become a scientist at the end. So we also have several research vessels for our students to go on with our faculty members and conduct research. So again, we're very fortunate as an institution to be able to offer those hands-on learning opportunities for our students. Other popular majors that we have within this college, biology is one of the largest. You'll see we have computer science, as well as information technology, information systems. I want to touch a little bit on exercise and sports science. That's one of our biggest majors as well. That's for the student who wants to look into sports medicine, athletic training, or maybe they're looking ahead at occupational therapy programs or physical therapy programs after they've graduated. Other majors within this college, of course, can't forget about the social sciences. We've got psychology and sociology, public health. Those students are definitely learning a lot and maybe being able to apply some of their skills right now in the world that we're living in today. And then last, I want to touch on recreation and sport management. These students also have a lot of hands-on learning opportunities. These students would work in a field. Maybe they want to go and work for the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Club, or maybe they're looking at working in a sports tourism industry, running tournaments, or maybe they're looking at professional sports teams, whether that's minor league or working at the professional level, or even some of those students are looking to work in possibly college athletics. So lots of different opportunities there for recreation and sport management. Our Gupta College of Science has had a lot of growth in and of itself these past few years. They have built a lot of new academic buildings. They built 2 just a few years ago and recently renovated a 3rd. So we're now over 250,000 square feet of classroom space for our science majors. A lot of that brand new or just recently renovated. So I think our students really appreciate the newer classrooms, technology, lab spaces that we offer here on campus. Last, we have our HTC Honors College and Center for Interdisciplinary Studies. There's a lot going on in this college, so I will break that down for you. So we have an honors college for those high-achieving students who have that inquiring mind, and they just want to get a little bit more out of their higher education experience. There are some perks to the program. You'll have priority registration, there's funding available for conferences, but like I said, it's really for that high-achieving student who wants to get a little bit more out of their academic experience. They will be assigned with a faculty member that's going to help align them with either a research topic or help them move along to a senior performance. For transfer students who are interested in the Honors College, please know that there is a separate application process. There is an essay required. We do ask for 2 letters of recommendation, and we're typically looking for that transfer student to have 30 plus transferable college credits and an overall collegiate GPA of 3.7 or above. Moving on, we have our Center for Interdisciplinary Studies. This is for that student who knows their career pathway. They know where they want to work or spend their career. But we don't traditionally offer that major here at Coastal, or maybe they know they need to be cross-disciplinary in their approach in order to be successful. So that student's going to work very closely with an academic advisor here at Coastal and essentially create their own curriculum. Students can get really creative here, but like I said, this major is really best suited for that student who ultimately knows their pathway, but we don't traditionally offer that major, or they know they need to be cross-disciplinary in their approach. We have our tutoring and learning centers housed in this building. We've got a math and a reading and writing center here. And then kind of on the flip side of interdisciplinary studies, our true undeclared majors would start off here. And you'll work with an advisor here who knows a little bit about all majors here on campus. They're very knowledgeable. They're going to ask you the right questions. So what are your interests? What are your skills? What are your abilities? And help you align that with a major in a career pathway here at Coastal Carolina University. I'm going to touch a little bit about student life here on campus. We have a very active student population. We have over 160 active student organizations on campus. We strongly encourage our students to get involved on campus right away. Research shows students who are involved on campus are healthier, happier, and more likely to graduate. So no matter where you end up, we hope is here, but we want to make sure you get involved right away because it's very important to your success. You'll see some of the different organizations we have here. We have major-based, academic-affiliated organizations, multicultural programs, Greek life, which is about 15% of our student population. We have faith-based organizations, student government. So too many to name here today. You can search all of our clubs and organizations on our website. Just go to coastal.edu and search Coastal Connections. That's how you can read about all of our different active clubs and organizations, and they also give you the contact information to the student leaders within that club or organization. Definitely going to talk a little bit about our athletic programs here at Coastal. We are Division I. We have 19 Division I teams. Most of our athletic teams compete in the Sun Belt Conference. We've been very successful so far in that program. Men's basketball, they've made it to March Madness a few years ago. Our men's soccer, they've made it to Sweet 16 in the NCAA playoffs. Women's volleyball, they're amazing. They've won a Sun Belt championship. They've also made it to postseason play. However, our biggest feather in our cap is our men's baseball team. They won a national championship, the College World Series, back in 2016. Pretty cool to say in just over 60 years of school history, you have a national championship under your belt. Definitely want to talk about the mascot you'll see in that corner there. That is Chauncey, the Chanticleer. We are based off of Chaucer's Canterbury Tale, specifically the Nun's Priest Tale, and basically he's a witty, crafty rooster. But again, his name is Chauncey the Chanticleer. I am now going to get into our admissions process, but first I want to talk about where we're getting our students from, and we call ourselves the Teal Nation. So you see on that map there, this is where we get the majority of our students, so the darker the teal, the more students we get. Our student breakdown, 49% are South Carolinians, 49% are from outside the state of South Carolina, and that remaining 2 percentage points there would be our international students. We have about 200 or so international students studying here with us. Our 2020 application cycle for transfer students is currently available now. You can only apply through our website. That's coastal.edu/apply. You'll see we get over 15,000 applications each year. For transfer students, we get about 3,000 or so just for transfer student applications. And then you'll see in that corner there, what does our typical incoming fall class look like? We have about 2,300 freshman students starting with us and about 750 transfer students. You don't have to transfer just for the fall semester. We get about 250 or so transfer students that start in our spring term, which starts in January. And we also have transfer students starting in our summer terms. So we're accepting transfer students all year round. So here are the transfer requirements. That first step would be the transfer application, which you can find on our website. We do have a $45 application fee. We do work with transfer students who may be receiving the Pell Grant, and we can assist you with an application fee waiver code. So reach out if you think this might apply to you. After you've applied, we encourage you to have all of your official college transcripts sent directly to the university. To be a competitive transfer student, we're looking for a collective collegiate GPA of a 2.0 or higher. Although our average transfer GPA is a 2.9, the minimum is a 2.0. And we also want to see that you're in good academic standing at your current institution. Now, if you have fewer than 24 transferable college credits completed, you can certainly still apply to the university, but just know that in addition to your collegiate transcripts, we are also going to ask for your final high school transcript to be sent to the university, as well as your standardized test scores, such as your ACT or your SAT. Now, if you're 22 years old or older, you're exempt from having to send those standardized test scores, but know that we will need that final high school transcript if you have under 24 transferable college credits completed. I just want to touch a little bit on transcripts right now, just in the time that we're in. Most colleges or universities have a third-party vendor where they're sending electronic transcripts. So even though they may not physically be on campus, you should still be able to request for those electronic transcripts to be sent directly to Coastal Carolina University. Now, for those high school transcripts, some high schools have, again, an electronic service where you can have those transcripts sent electronically directly to Coastal, but I know that some high schools may not have staff on campus to help fulfill high school transcript requests. So if you're running into issues getting your high school transcript, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Let us know what's going on. We're going to try our best to work with you if you're having issues getting us those transcripts, because we want to make sure we can give you that admissions decision as soon as possible. So we are rolling admissions here at Coastal Carolina University. So what that means is we're accepting applications, receiving documents, and making admissions decisions year-round. However, we do have some priority dates, not hard deadlines, but these priority dates tie to our merit award consideration, which I'll talk about merit awards in just a few minutes. But those priority dates for transfer students looking to start in the fall, that date is June 1. So you really want to try and get everything into us by June 1. For transfer students looking to start in the spring term that begins in January, please know that we'd like to get everything in by November 1. Once we receive everything we need for your application, your file will be complete, and you'll receive your admissions decision by mail in about 3 weeks. Once a student is admitted to the university, then the Office of Admissions and Merit Awards will complete the official evaluation of your credits. We will send that official transfer credit report with your acceptance packet. But please know that if you're currently still taking classes, when you get us your final transcript with all of your final grades, we won't send a second letter. What we'll do is we will upload your updated transfer credit report to WebAdvisor, which is your student portal here at Coastal. And if you don't know yet, that's really important. But in WebAdvisor, you can also see a real-time report of your transfer credit report. So as we get updated transcripts, we will update those credits within that system. So like I said, the Office of Admissions will complete the official evaluation of your credits, and that will come in your acceptance packet. So I know there's a lot of information on this screen here about transfer credits, but I wanted to make sure you had all the information today. So I'm going to do my best to break this all down for you. So in general, in order for credit to be transferable, we need to see that it's completed at a regionally accredited institution, that it is an academic college level course, and that you've earned a letter grade of C- or better. Courses that typically are not transferable or anything that's remedial or developmental are considered like a refresher course, particularly in the English and math areas. Any courses that are vocational or very technical, those also are not transferable to Coastal Carolina. Please know that if you're studying at a 2-year technical or community college, those courses typically only come into Coastal at the 100 or 200 level. We are not able to award credit at the 300, 400 level from a 2-year school. Now, there may be some exceptions that the academic department would make that decision on, but just know through admissions, if you're transferring credit from a 2-year school, you would only receive that at the 100, 200 level, or it would come in as an elective. So let's break down how credits would transfer into the university. Credit would transfer in one of 3 ways. So say that course has the Coastal equivalent. So we have that parallel course. So for example, English 101, composition course. So you would get that Coastal equivalent. The second way that a course would transfer in is a departmental elective. So you'll see on the screen there, that prefix is for psychology. That XXX, where typically a number is, that XXX stands for elective. So for example, say you're taking a psychology course, we just don't offer that equivalent course, but certainly we have a psychology department, so you would get that departmental elective. The third way that a course would transfer into the university is a general elective. So say we don't offer that major at all, or maybe that course is very cross-disciplinary and it doesn't fit in one certain area, that would come in as an elective. And you can see on that screen there, that prefix is ELEC, which stands for elective, and that XXX. I want to spend some time to go over some transfer credit resources for you. If you are taking classes at a South Carolina technical college, please note each year we put together something called the Transfer Guide and Academic Plan. It is a PDF that has, I think, close to 700 equivalents within that guidebook. So if you search transfer admission on our website and you'll scroll down, you'll see that South Carolina Technical College Guide. That's our Transfer Guide and Academic Plan. Now, if you're transferring within the state of South Carolina, maybe from a 4-year institution, or perhaps transferring from outside the state, we encourage you to check out the South Carolina Transfer and Articulation Center, or sctrac.org for short. That's really the best resource if you're transferring within the state from a 4-year institution. And then just below that website, collegetransfer.net, we have a lot of resources for out-of-state students from 2-year or 4-year institutions. Also, you've heard this word before, Web Advisor. Again, that's your student portal. We also have a real-time database within Web Advisor, which tracks how we've evaluated credits in the past for certain institutions. So you can also check there. One resource a lot of students don't know about is we offer preliminary evaluations to students even before they apply to the university. So if you want to have your credits unofficially evaluated before you apply, then you can email your transcripts. They can be unofficial, so you can email those to credits@coastal.edu. As we're getting into our high volume season for transfer students, we do ask for a 2 to 3 week turnaround time if you would like that unofficial evaluation, but I think it's a great resource that we offer. Finally, I want to touch on the university catalog. As a transfer student, you should get very familiar with this. This is the resource that houses all of the curriculums for all of our majors. You can read all of the degree requirements, you can read all of the courses or the options that you have to take within those courses, and read those course descriptions. So I think that's a really great resource if you're planning ahead and you're trying to pick out prerequisite courses that you can take before you transfer over. So that's that university catalog. So you can just search that on our website. Now, for students who are earning an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science or a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science from a regionally accredited institution, you'll be eligible for the core curriculum exemption. The core curriculum is our liberal arts foundation that all students must satisfy. So again, if you have those certain credentials from a regionally accredited institution, our core curriculum will be automatically waived, and you'll be able to focus on your graduation requirement, your foundation courses, which are like your prerequisites for your majors, and your major coursework. So that's the smoothest transition that you can make as a transfer student. Now below you'll see that core curriculum petition. So what is that exactly? So we know that students, especially those that are studying at a 4-year institution, you're taking specific classes toward that institution's graduation requirements. So we may not offer that equivalent course, or you may have different requirements in your general education requirements. So maybe those courses won't come in as a coastal equivalent, but we know that you've taken an artistic expression. We know that you've taken a scientific expression course or a critical thinking course. So even if that course doesn't come in as a coastal equivalent, our academic advisors are trained to spot those courses and say, you've satisfied this knowledge area, so we'll complete a petition so that this course can apply to our degree requirements. It's basically our way of having your credits not just transfer to the university, but we want those to transfer and apply to our degree requirements as best that we can. We're going to talk about the current cost of attendance here for our in-state and out-of-state students. So you'll see that tuition rate there. The housing and meal plan is based on the most common housing option and meal plan option for transfer students. So I'll talk about that a little more in a few minutes. Please know the tuition rate is based on the current academic year. The 2020-2021 tuition rates will be posted early to mid-summer. So please stay tuned to our website for those 2020-2021 tuition rates. We understand that college is certainly an investment for you and your families. 86% of our students receive financial aid or scholarships. Last year, that totaled to about $150 million. We encourage all students to complete the FAFSA. That is free. You should know that by now, but please don't pay for that. The website there is fafsa.gov. The 2021 FAFSA was available in October 1. So if you're looking to transfer this summer or this fall, you really need to go ahead and get that FAFSA submitted now. If you're looking ahead at a 2021 cycle, know that that'll open back up on October 1. Once a student is admitted, they'll be considered for merit awards. So I'll talk about that in just a few minutes, but I do want to touch on other scholarships there. So you'll see it highlighted in bronze, the Phi Theta Kappa Scholarship. A lot of students don't know that we offer this, but this is for someone transferring from a 2-year institution who's active in their Phi Theta Kappa, which is the National Honor Society for technical or community colleges. To be considered for that Phi Theta Kappa scholarship, we need to see that you're an active member on your transcript. And if you're offered that award, it's an additional 10% off of tuition, which you can actually stack on top of a merit award. For our visual and performing arts majors, as well as our PGM students, we do offer merit awards there. And then you'll see that last note there, those application-based scholarships. So essentially, this is where someone has gifted a donation to the university, and they've designated where they'd like those funds to go. So students, once they're admitted, they can look at all of the application-based scholarships and apply for those individually. Unfortunately, that cycle has ended this year, but please know that the application-based scholarships open up each year. So beginning in October this fall, that will open up, and there's 2 cycles. So please keep an eye on WebAdvisor. You can apply for those application-based scholarships there, as well as through the Financial Aid and Scholarships website. All right, so I know there's a lot of information on this screen. This is our merit award information, so I will break this down for you. Essentially, merit awards are additional monies based on your academics. Once a student is admitted to the university, they are automatically considered for those merit awards. So you do not have to apply separately for those awards. If you're offered a merit award, that typically comes a few weeks by mail after an acceptance packet is received. So for our transfer students, in general, we're looking for 30 or more transferable college credits and a collective collegiate GPA of a 2.9 and above. We have 3 different tiers that I'll go over with you. So our lowest tier, which is 15% off of tuition, that's level 3. You must have a 2.9 to a 3.24 with that 30 plus transferable hours. For our second tier, level 2, which is 20% off of tuition, again, we're looking for 30 plus transferable credits with a collective collegiate GPA of a 3.25 to a 3.49. Now our highest tier, tier 1 or level 1, which is 25% off of tuition, we're looking again at that 30 plus transferable credits with a collective collegiate GPA of a 3.5 to a 4.0. What's great about merit awards is they are renewable as you move forward at the institution. Historically, you need to maintain 30 credits a year and average a 3.0 GPA to continue to receive that award. All right, now I'm going to spend a few minutes and talk about the enrollment process. Hopefully a lot of students out there today are admitted or already enrolled with the university, so I want to definitely clarify those enrollment steps or those next steps for you. So once a student has been admitted to the university and they decide Coastal is the right fit for them and they want to join the Till Nation, that first step is that $100 enrollment deposit. Students can pay that through their web advisor, or they can always call the Office of Admissions and Merit Awards and pay that by phone. The $100 is a prepayment towards tuition, and that is what moves you to student status. So that's that first step. After you've enrolled, you can apply for housing, which I'll talk about that requirement for transfer students in just a few moments. The housing application is $150. 100 of that goes towards your housing bill, but 50 of that is that application fee. The housing application is called My Coastal Home, and the earliest that you can start that application is 24 to 48 hours after you've paid that enrollment deposit, which was step 1 there. The third piece would be to register for orientation. We do have an orientation requirement for all of our students. As you probably know by now, there's been an announcement this week about the changes to our summer orientation programs. They're calling it now the new Shant Experience, and it is a 5-phase program that is a hybrid program. So the first 4 phases would be completed online or electronically, and then that last component, phase 5, is where that in-person component will be held. We are moving up our move-in date for new students, so that in-person component for students will be held right when move-in begins, and then that'll also tie into our Tie weekend, which is all of our welcome weekend events, where we welcome new students to campus and really get them acclimated to campus and want to make sure they're successful when they start. So like I said, a lot of that has been rolled out this week. If you have any questions, you'll see the link there to the orientation website, but we're also directing all of those questions about orientation to our campus partner, the New Student and Family Programs Office. So you'll see their phone number and email address there. So please direct your questions about orientation to our campus partners. All right, next I'm going to talk about the housing here for transfer students. So we have about 4,600 students who live on our campus. We have a first and second year housing requirement for all our students. So how that works for transfer students, if you are transferring to Coastal within 2 years of graduating high school, then you're required to stay in Coastal housing until you've met that 2-year requirement. Now there are some exceptions, such as you're a local student living with your parent or guardian within 50 miles of campus, if you're married, if you're a veteran, if you have dependents. So there are some exceptions, but again, that housing requirement for transfer students, if you are transferring to Coastal within 2 years of graduating high school, then you're required to stay in Coastal housing. Typically, our transfer students are housed off main campus in something that we call University Place, which is our apartment style housing. They're a great first-year apartment for our students. They are fully furnished. There are singles and doubles, full kitchen, washer and dryer in the unit. What's great is that it's owned by Coastal, so you're going to have a resident advisor in your building, as well as a community coordinator, which is a full-time professional staff member there as well. There's security over there, there's a dining facility, as well as some recreational spaces there. But that's, again, University Place, that's typically where our transfer students are housed. Now, I said there is a 2-year housing requirement. So say you're transferring to Coastal and it's been longer than 2 years since you graduated high school. You are certainly welcome to apply for housing as an upperclassman. We just can't guarantee it for those students, but I will say we typically do not run out of housing for our upperclassmen or our transfer students. And I know you should be on campus checking out all of our housing options today, so I wanted to list that link where you can go and check out our living options. We have a video there right at the top of the screen, and if you scroll to about the 2-minute mark, that's where you'll see all of our transfer housing options, such as University Place, and then there's also a smaller option called the Gardens, which is on main campus, so that's also an option too. So definitely check out that video since we can't unfortunately have you on campus right now to check out all of our housing options. All right, so that's pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you today. I know I may have missed something, so again, please know we are open, we are operational. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You'll see my name there. I'm a transfer counselor, and I work specifically with students whose last names are A through E. I also work with our completion program students, such as nursing, health administration, as well as our marketing online, and hospitality and resort tourism management online. My colleague there, Shay Godwin, he's a transfer counselor who works with students' last names F through R, and he also works with our student veterans. So you can see his contact information there. And then last but not least, our next transfer counselor, we have Miss Jenna Ranzo. She works with last names S through Z. She also works with prospective students. So if you haven't applied yet, you have some questions, even if it's about 2020, 2021, 2022, go ahead and reach out to Jenna. You can see her contact information. We also have a general transfer email if you're not sure where to direct your questions. So that's transfer@coastal.edu. And I just want to finish up. If you haven't had a chance to visit our campus, I encourage you to use that CCU visit hashtag, because we have students who've posted over 3,000 photos of their campus visit. And if you go to coastal.edu/visit, you'll also see some information there about virtual tours and watching our Monday through Friday pre-tour experience, which begins at 9:30 a.m., where we'll give a live presentation about campus and we'll take you out on a virtual tour. So I thank you for your time today. And again, I hope you stay safe, healthy, and happy. Go Shawns.